Amazing. This movie is great. Might as well end this video now. I'm just kidding. Just like a lot of other people, I thought this movie was amazing, especially since I'm a huge Sonic fan. Now, of course, this movie is not perfect. There are small nitpicks and other minor issues, but I think my personal bias towards the series has overshadowed some other flaws. As always, this is just my opinion. I recommend that you go watch this movie for yourself and form your own opinion. I will, however, start this review off with a non-spoiler section, just so you can have an idea of what you'll be going into, assuming you do go indeed watch the movie. If you have already watched it, be sure to stick around for the spoiler section. First things first, if you're a Sonic fan, you will absolutely love the lore and the references in the movie. There are tons of nods to the games. The references feel very natural in most parts, and the lore is similar yet unique at the same time. Another great thing, and in my personal opinion, the best thing to come out of this movie, is the improvement on the characters of Tails and Knuckles, specifically compared to their game counterparts. Tails is written much better. He doesn't act wimpy or scared anymore, forces, and instead joins Sonic on the battlefield for the first time since like 06? Heroes? Either way, Tails gets his moments and finally feels like his former self. Similarly, Knuckles has also seen huge improvement. He is no longer an idiot for the sake of comedy. He's a lot more serious, and is taken as such. This doesn't mean he doesn't have any funny lines, however. In fact, a lot of the good jokes come from Knuckles' unfamiliarity to Earth. Sonic himself has also seen some character growth. He continues to stay childish while also getting a little more mature. Robotnik is just as great as last time, probably even better. He is both comedic and a legitimate threat to the heroes. This is all thanks in part to the actors that played each character. They all did an amazing job as their respective characters. The interactions are also an amazing part of this film. Sonic and Tails, despite just meeting, have that brotherly feel akin to the games, and it's super nostalgic and nice to see. Robotnik and Knuckles have some funny interactions as well. When it comes to the negatives, without getting too much into spoiler territory, there are specifically two scenes that feel dragged out, but one of them I can excuse due to its contributions. The other one, however, yikes. I'll go more in depth during the spoiler section. Opposing the long scenes are some great action sequences, which there are plenty by the way, so don't worry about feeling underwhelmed. They each are unique in both environment and style, creating some nice visuals. The music to go along is fine. There aren't a lot of Sonic motifs or references in the OST, but for what it's worth, it's good enough to suit the movie. Personally, I think there are some good tracks in there, it's just the majority of it is kinda just normal. Overall, I think the positives heavily outweigh the negatives, and the movie is just really enjoyable, especially for those invested in the series, like myself. You have approximately 5 seconds before I go into spoiler territory. I suggest you leave now if you care about getting spoiled, or if you intend on watching it. Okay, is that everybody? Great, let's get started. I'm mainly going to go scene by scene, but of course recapped and shorter for your viewing pleasure. Firstly, the part where Knuckles and Robotnik meet on the Mushroom Planet is a great introduction to Knuckles' character. The audience can already tell he is serious, and he will stop at nothing to get his Master Emerald. That same feeling also carries on to the first meeting between Sonic and Knuckles. The fight here, while nothing too special, is an amazing setup to the rivalry between the two. Sonic also meets Tails here for the first time, and that scene, the whole car chase scene, was literally just a ton of fun. Tails gets to shine, he gets his moments, and I just think that's great, especially since we haven't seen Tails do a lot in the recent games. This leads to the first nitpick I have though, which is when they go to Wade's house, and for some unknown reason, Longclaw just suddenly gets a hologram and explains the Master Emerald and stuff. I have like nothing against the lore or anything, but mainly just how it happened. Like, we don't see how it exactly gets activated. I mean, like, Sonic touches the Master Emerald on the map and it suddenly activates. It's just very random, definitely like for the plot. I don't think it's too bad or anything, it's a little weird. I digress though. This leads to the dance battle scene between the humans in the lodge and Sonic and Tails. Just as I mentioned earlier, this is one of the scenes I felt was a little bit dragged out. But at the end of the day, it does serve its purpose, that being to have Sonic and Tails bond, so it can be excused. The following snowboard fight is also a ton of fun, and a nice reference to Ice Cap Zone snowboarding section and all the various other snowboarding sequences in other games. Sonic and Knuckles also get a heart-to-heart here, with Sonic almost pulling Knuckles to his side. We even get to see a kid version of Knuckles, which is pretty rare. It is adorable. Baby Knuckles, Child Knuckles, whatever, he's great, just like Child Sonic from the last movie. Unfortunately though, Tails messes the moment. To be fair, he didn't understand what was going on. He thought Sonic was getting like beat up or something, I don't know. But Tails messes it up on accident, so we can forgive him. And then we get to the main scene that everybody hates. I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but it's the wedding subplot. I get they had to establish Gun because of, you know, Shadow in the end credits. We'll get to that later. But I just don't get why it had to be in this specific way. I get they also need to include the humans in the movie somehow, but this was just boring. It was dragged out far too long. I wanted the movie, you know, I came there looking for Sonic. We got a lot of Sonic. That's great. But I think the whole human subplot was just a little too much, a little too dragged out. At the least, they could have shortened it. But anyways, then we get to the best scene. Or before that, we get Sonic running across the waves. That one was really cool too. I really liked that scene. It was just visually, it was nice. And it was a great moment for his character, just showing how much faster he's become. Anyways, the best scene, in my opinion, which is the one that comes right after the running on the waves scene and going through the labyrinth, is the final Sonic and Knuckles fight. Basically, before they team up. This fight was amazing. It was super nice to look at, all the red and blue, the visual effects, it was all amazing, very appealing to the eyes. And both characters got to use their specific strengths to their advantage and have a nice counterbalance to each other. Knuckles' raw power and Sonic's speed made it for some of the most interesting sequences in this fight. The part where they collide in the air, which is also shown in the trailer, and then they start duking it out literally at super speed, that was amazing. It was really fun. A really fun fight overall. We also get a Super Robotnik, which is weird. It's never called that, but assuming, you know, he absorbed Chaos Energy, it's Super Robotnik. The betrayal between Robotnik and Knuckles was also handled very well. It made me genuinely feel bad for Knuckles the entire time. Especially when he calls Robotnik his friend and then just gets laughed at. You deserved better, Knuckles, I'm sorry. And then he almost drowns when the labyrinth collapses because of that man. Knuckles is just getting the worst treatment. It sucks. Anyways, Sonic does get to save him, which is a nice thing for his character. He gets to be the hero he wanted to be. And we get a reference there with Sonic sucking in an air bubble, a nice nod to the water sections of any previous Sonic games. Then, we get to see the trio finally come together as a team and fight Robotnik off. It was amazing. The feeling was just unmatched. It gave off Sonic Hero vibes, and I loved it. Loved that whole scene. They play off of each other super well and have such great chemistry. It's amazing how well it was pulled off, genuinely. Going in, I was skeptical. I think everyone was. You know, we didn't know how Tails and Knuckles would be handled, and the fact they were introducing two major players in the same movie, they were taking a big bite, right? But they handled it really well, and I'm very happy with how they did it. They managed, and they succeeded. The final sequence against the Death Egg robot was also just amazing. Robotnik felt like an actual threat, and that's how it always should be. Not saying he's bad or anything in the games now. He's fine, but a lot of times he's played off more for jokes than actual threats, so seeing him like menacing for once, very refreshing. Change of pace. We even get a Sonic 3 reference during the fight, with Knuckles punching the Master Emerald out of Robotnik. And then the Emerald falls, and Sonic grabs it, his family saves him, and he's about to get crushed, and then we get a Super Sonic scene. It was amazing. There was nothing like it. The best part of maybe not the best part, but that's when I felt the most hyped. Felt like my childhood really coming to life in a way that I've never felt before. Just Supersonic looked great. The effects surrounding him looked great. The sound, it was amazing. So I was listening to the OST again, and I came across the Supersonic track, and I suggest everybody go listen to it. You probably heard it in theaters if you watched the movie, but still, it is really good. Just really, really good. Genuinely the best track in the movie. Trust me, you'll enjoy it. It's got a Supersonic feeling to it, like it was in a game, which is really nice. Has like just vibe to it, I guess. And I'm not gonna play it here for obvious reasons. I don't want this video to get taken down. I put a lot of effort into it. The trailer clips are already a lot, so yeah, I'm not trying to get this taken down by Paramount. I'll link it in the description though. Go listen to it. Zing. He uses, and then the funny part is he uses all that power at the end to make a chili dog. Like, this is just peak Sonic right here. This is Sonic at his greatest, and I love it. It's so good. The characterization for Sonic here is just amazing. I love it. It's great. And then we also get a Fleetway reference, possibly. Specifically when Knuckles says, "This Sonic, he isn't the one you once knew," or something like that. It was something similar to that. I don't really know. Can't remember. But it was definitely referring to the evil Supersonic from Fleetway comics. I feel like it would have been cool to adapt, but at the same time, it was a little weird, so they should just definitely keep that as a reference and not the main Supersonic. And then we even get an 06 reference before that technically, but Sonic finishes the entire fight by simply tapping his foot against the egg robot. There's so many callbacks, so just for a Sonic fan especially, this is amazing. I'm not saying you have to be a Sonic fan to like this movie. You definitely don't. It's just definitely more focused towards Sonic fans. And I don't think that's a problem, because there's a majority of Sonic fans. Most people who are going to watch it will be Sonic fans. But even if you're not a Sonic fan, I can guarantee you probably will enjoy it. Just for the sake of it being, you know, a good time, fun time. This movie, this singular movie, it reminded me of why I've always been a Sonic fan. Why I ever became a Sonic fan. It was never about really gameplay for me, just about these characters. Recently, they've just been butchered hard, and it's sad, you know. We don't get the same stories we used to, and I never grew up with those stories. I never did. I never got that luxury. But it's just still amazing seeing these characters from their peak being adapted into an even greater characterization. This, like, Knuckles is possibly the best he's been in years. Same thing with Tails. Sonic's also pretty good, and Robotnik is just amazing. Seeing these characters done justice is just, it's amazing. It's great. That's why I love this movie. They somehow made every character good. Something Sega can't even do anymore. Like, it's amazing. It's great. I love it. I'd have it no other way. Cause this movie, not perfect, but for me, it's a super biased 9 out of 10. This movie, it's great, especially if you're a Sonic fan. But we're not done yet, technically. So, if you stayed for the end credits, you know, and I mentioned this earlier, Shadow the Hedgehog, he appears, and like, the moment I got this spoiled for me, but I assure you, the moment I heard that 50 years line dropped in the end credits, I think everybody knew it was Shadow. But the hype from him appearing and the possibilities from him appearing they're so big, and they're so great. The story that could be adapted, it's just very hype, very exciting to see what comes next. I think they'll do Shadow justice here. They did Knuckles justice, they did Tails justice. I think they can do Shadow correctly, and I'm hoping they do, and I think they will, putting my trust into them. The one thing that does scare me is apparently it is slated for a 2023 release, which is in a year, possibly later in 2023, hopefully, because they need time to develop this. I don't want them to rush this out, because then they'll mess it up, then they'll ruin their good. The two movies won't be ruined, but the third one could just ruin the reputation of the movies as a whole. just ruin that whole like trilogy that they have going. So I hope they take their time with this, and I hope they are able to adapt Shadow's story for what it is in the game. Just a spectacular story. I hope they can do it justice as well. And I think that sums up all my thoughts. I don't even know what to say anymore. It's just, I'm speechless. This movie did what I didn't think could be done, and they did Sonic good, and it's amazing. But yeah, that's what I think about the movie. Of course, you can leave your thoughts in the comments below. You can. I don't think you have to keep them spoiler free, but if you're for some reason watching this and you haven't watched the movie, don't look down there probably, because there's gonna be spoilers. So just don't, for your own safety. Watch the movie first, enjoy it, please. Go watch it for yourself, form your own opinion. It's amazing. Everybody should watch this. Not everybody's gonna like it, and that's fine. But if you're a Sonic fan, or you just are interested in Sonic, or heck, if you got a family, for example, this is a great movie. It's fun, it's enjoyable, it's a great time. As always, make sure you sub to the YouTube. I do have an upcoming video planned for my hopes and wishes for Sonic 3, which I kind of delved into earlier, but I'll get more in depth once I make that video. And follow my Twitch as well. We do some Sonic stuff there. I'm doing a Sonic marathon right now, playing every game. We're currently on Advanced 2. I got all the Chaos Emeralds as Sonic. I just need to, beat the game with every other character. So we're gonna do that soon. Make sure you join our Discord as well in the description below. Sorry this video seems very random, like unscripted, kind of scripted. It's all over the place. But I don't really know how to organize my thoughts well for this, because I don't know. I just wanted to talk about this the way I wanted to talk about this, and I did that here, and I'm happy I got to do this. This is actually a kind of fun video to record and just do in general, so I'm happy I got this chance. And I hope you all enjoy this movie if you go watch it, and I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day after watching this. Thank you for being here, thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you all in my next one. Peace. That was the wrong button.